Paul here, my dad Edwin, and Luke. And we are gonna be looking at different types of wheel hose. So we've got the Haas, the Glaser wheel hose. This is like Johnny's staple. This is the Valley Oak. Wanted to just compare them.
The Haas and Valley Oak have metal wheels. The inflated tire, it's not quite as rough.
Get a flat tire, then you're busted. Next up, let's look at the hoe attachments. Glaser and Haas, you'll see, are actually very similar. Bolt nut system for attaching your attachments on here, for adjusting your wheels. Haas, practically the exact same thing.
It has play going back, but not going forward. This one has play both ways.
With the Valley Oak, also has play going both directions. However, instead of a nut and bolt system, it's fast, quick release, has a quick action for adjusting your handle height. Definitely a plus. These are a plowshare handle. This is a little better, which is more ergonomic. I can only fit 3 fingers. The Valley Oak, it's a very ergonomic. You feel like you could push the world. I would say this is a little heavier. Weight may actually come to your benefit when it comes to getting the blade down in the ground when you're cutting through the soil. And we're gonna do some time trials to see how fast it takes to switch out attachments and adjust the handles on the different versions. 3, 2, 1, go.
Paul, do you need me to come over there and help? Are you paper planner?
Right now I feel like it. Okay, ready?
3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
Oh, good race.
I'm pretty sure I won. It was neck and neck.
On the video, you definitely see you win.
Did I win?
Yes, you did.
High five. Let's get some feedback from other people on the wheel hose.
Would you like to try the Valley Oak wheel hose?
Is there anything that you like about it or that you don't like about it?
Down.
I like that it's stable, like I don't have to push down that much. Yeah, I really feel like I don't need to push as much.
This style would definitely hurt my hands after a while.
It just seems a lot sturdier.
I have to hold this underneath it to literally like travel.
Always turn it upside down, it's too awkward.
Oh, okay. Have a hard time keeping all the nuts tight. They slide around and they loosen up, which causes this block to wallow out. And then they break off right at the level of the block. Got 10 or 15 of these blocks, the studs broken off in them. I mean, I love the feel of the wood handles, but the fact that they're wood, it's hard to keep them tight. You know, you can spend a lot of time fooling with it, trying to get it just right. But having said that, you know, we still use them. You can't just go to the store and buy these studs. And I like the fact that this blade just has 2 standard nuts in it. Anybody can go to the hardware store and replace those. So I'm gonna go over just a few of the attachments of the Valley Oak, which the attachments, quite frankly, exist for the Haas and the other one. The Haas has a couple other features if you want to have like a high hoop and cultivate on both sides, but kind of the main thing of a wheel hoe is a blade assembly. So Valley Oak has a lot of different size blade assemblies. I believe this is a 5-inch blade assembly, and they go all the way up to 16 or 18 inches, which is a pretty significant blade assembly. And so like we talked about earlier, it actuates both directions to get the right cutting angle as you're going through that soil to cut. If these bolts were to ever be, have a lot of pressure and wear out, they can be easily replaced. Same goes for the blade itself. Over time, if you're sharpening these blades, they might actually wear down. I like keeping a pretty sharp edge on these so that it cuts through the weeds really easy. So that's a blade assembly. It comes in all sizes. This is a standard like cultivator. It's gonna help you kind of cut through the soil, get some weeds at the white thread stage. It works really good in clumpy soil. If you have soil that's a little bit more moist and you're not cutting through it, and it might be a little sticky if you have heavier clays, this is a great tool for that. Or if you're actually trying to really loosen it up and you don't want to have a rototiller or a broad fork, and you can actually kind of use the similar motion to kind of dig down fairly deep and loosen up that top layer, and you can get a lot of weight behind it and go too far if you really wanted to. Additionally, they make a very wide one, which is the same thing but more like a rake, and it has like some skids. So if you want to rake the entire top of a bed and level it off, you can use that. It's 40 inches wide, I believe. It's really wide. So there's that. We got the furrower. Furrower is typically just to move the soil left and right at the same time, often used in planting potatoes. If you want to roll out a trench, plant your potatoes along it, and then you can choose to cover it back up with the hiller. There's other reasons you might use a furrower. Maybe if you're just
doing primitive irrigation or just need to have a little bit of a trench, this is a great tool for the job. Then we have the hiller. The hiller has that straight like knife edge, and this is a hefty piece. It's actually not too bad to actually push the soil with, believe it or not, just with the ergonomics of it. But you got 6 different options technically, which is turned to 12, because you got 1, 2, 3, and then you've got the front side or the back side, and then you got 2 options on your wheel hoe itself for different depth control, angle from the wheel, that sort of thing. I use this most often in hilling potatoes. You can run it right down the edge of your potato and it'll push a nice level soil onto your potatoes to help hill them. The other thing that I do is, rather than grab a shovel, if I've got like water pooling in a specific area and I need to create a little drain, I'll just stick this on and push it right through soft, moist puddles and drain a puddle. You know, I've done that several different times on areas of my farm because I live in southeast Missouri and we get a lot of rain in the spring. So this is a great overall tool. Highly recommend getting this with the attachment. I use that quite often. And all of them super quick, easy attach. That's my favorite feature of this, is I can easily, real quick, plant the potatoes, change the implement, and be done in just a matter of seconds, which is so great. Get that aligned because it is precision machinery, and we are good to start hilling in this case, or draining a puddle.
Okay friends, so 3 different types of wheel hose, and what do you say? While the Glaser and the Haas have been around a long time, they're kind of staples on the market for multiple reasons, I think that the Valley Oak wheel hoe comes out on top. Number 1, ease of adjustability of the handles. You can just quick release, drop them down, put them back up. Being able to quick release your implements, I mean, that's a complete game changer compared to having to get out a toolkit and change everything. I mean, that's just a nightmare. On top of that, the ergonomics of the handles, I mean, you just feel the power behind it, getting your whole hand on that handle. The fact that these handles are gonna last you forever. They're galvanized steel, you're not gonna bend them, you're not gonna break them. This tool is a real powerhouse. So if you're considering getting a wheel hoe for your garden, for your homestead, for your farm, out of these 3, I would definitely highly encourage you to consider looking at getting the Valley Oak wheel hoe.